This week, I want to talk to you about being hungry. I've addressed this before, but it's really relevant to something that I'm going through at the moment. So, I read the most amazing book, Could Fast Like a Girl, by Dr. Mindy Peltz. Here it is. It's so interesting, especially with regards to women and weight loss. So, there's loads of research out on the market of how beneficial fasting is. But most of the research is based around men. And men just don't have the complexity of sex hormones that women do. So they have testosterone to deal with, and their testosterone level comes in and out, I think something like every 15 minutes throughout the whole month. Whereas obviously us women, we have a menstrual cycle. So we have two other hormones that come into play, estrogen and progesterone. And so fasting is very straightforward for men. You just have your eating window. If you're listening to this and you're a man, you have your eating window. You only eat during that period, and then you fast for the rest of the time. And when you eat, really, you know this, you want to be eating wholesome, natural, non-processed, low-sugar food. Or no sugar, preferably. For women, it's a bit more complicated. We have to do our fasting in line with the hormone that's relevant at that time. So at the beginning of your cycle, estrogen is strong, and that's when we're in our power phase and we need to fast. That's when we can do longer fasts. Then we go into our nurture phase, and that's when testosterone is coming into play. And then we can fast, but not extreme fasting. Then you have another little power phase, which you could extend your fast again. And then progesterone comes in. And when progesterone is high, we want to feed progesterone. We want to feed it, the wholesome foods like sweet potatoes if they work for you. We want to nourish our body. So fasting at that point isn't good for our hormones. And I was just so fascinated by this book. And not only from a weight loss perspective, I have a tiny little bit of weight now to lose. Well, actually, I haven't weighed myself for ages, but the size of my legs can reduce. But more so from the health benefits of it. I was just blown away at how amazing fasting is from a health perspective, from the neurodegeneration prevention, cancer, hormone cancer prevention, how our whole body regenerates every 7 years. We go through this whole regeneration, but a damaged cell just produces another damaged cell. An unhealthy cell produces another unhealthy cell. So if we don't get out of that cycle, we just keep reproducing the same unhealthy body. And so inspired by that, I've decided to do my own 3-day fast. Well, I'm just going to be drinking water. And I don't know how many hours into my fast. So the last time I ate was at like 8 o'clock last night. Maybe it was 7:30. And I don't intend to eat anything until Sunday morning. So actually be a little bit longer than 72 hours, actually. And what happens at 72 hours of fasting is your body creates a whole load of stem cells. And it's our stem cells that then help to heal our body, regenerate, get rid of like old damaged cells. And I'm just like, I'm fascinated to experience the health benefits of it. But you have to be able to overcome hunger because when you don't eat, one gets hungry. And if you used to be anything like me, I would get really fucking angry when I was hungry. Like I would get pissed off. I would get irritated. It was just not a nice place for me to be because I used to think, I don't want to be hungry. I shouldn't be hungry. Something terrible is happening. And, we've been conditioned by society that we should have 3 meals a day, that we should snack. And it's just a load of bollocks. Actually, that may be the case for some people, not saying it's not for you, but we don't need to be eating all the time. And actually, the food industry is marketing to us that when we do eat, hey, here's this healthy snack bar, have this healthy drink. And actually, none of it's healthy and it's having a huge negative effect on our life. But that's the food industry. I want to talk to you about hunger. You can see I get passionate about this, can't you? What if hunger wasn't a problem? It's kind of how I've reframed it. So my belly has been rumbling, not consistently, because hunger doesn't work like that. Hunger comes in waves. It like kind of comes and it rumbles and then it disappears. I was going to say dissipates, but either one. It disappears. It goes. And then a little bit later, it'll go, oh, by the way, we might want to have some food. And then it disappears again. And that's completely neutral. Like the physical sensation of being hungry cannot create an emotion until your brain gets involved and until your brain starts giving you that I shouldn't be hungry, I need to have something to eat, this is terrible. But especially if you want to lose weight, being hungry is not life-threatening. Because what happens when you get hungry, your insulin levels lower, and then you're able to burn and use the fat that you have on your body. And if you're going into weight loss, that's where you want to be. You want to be using the fat that your body has stored for a rainy day. Only in our society, that rainy day in the food world doesn't happen because we have an abundance of it. Back in our caveman days, of course, we needed to store fat because when we couldn't forage or when we didn't hunt an animal, we needed to rely on that food that we had stored in our body for survival. But we're not in that place anymore. And it is okay to be hungry. So what I say to myself now is, this is brilliant. I'm hungry, which means my gut biome is starting to get more diverse. It means that actually little burning things, whatever you're called, if you could go and take the fat off my ass, that would be brilliant. I want to dine in. I want hunger to be part of this journey because that's when I know my body is starting to heal itself. So hunger doesn't have to be a problem. It's your thoughts around hunger that are causing your problem. Now, I do want to put a caveat on this. And obviously, if you have an eating disorder or you've got trauma that's attached to hunger, you might want to go and get separate help. That's not my wheelhouse. But for those of us that just get pissy just because we don't want to be hungry, and there's no trauma attached to that, we can reframe that voice. Your primal brain freaking out isn't a problem. Being hungry isn't a problem. I'm experiencing it now. My stomach is actually feeling empty. I'm kind of okay. Other than my brain giving me this dialogue, I'm fine. So when you're able to listen to that brain and just get fascinated with compassion, hunger then doesn't have to be a problem. I'm able to just remind myself that I'm safe. If my glucose levels really drop and I'm monitoring them, which is a sensible way of fasting, if that actually happens, I can have something to eat. That's not a problem. No drama is needed because I'm hungry. And I would like to offer this to you as well. The next time you feel hungry, notice what your brain tells you. Notice the frustration or the anger or I sometimes go really huffy, like, oh, I should be able to have the cake. Oh, I should be able to, all of that kind of, it's bullshit, really. Just notice that and then just reframe it. Okay, this is perfect. Go and take that bit off my bum. Go and take that bit off my wobbly bit around my stomach. Go and take that bit off my arms, please. I go and eat the fat that I'm so desperate to get rid of. And you're doing this because you have an amazing body and you want your body to be healthier. Not from a place of, I should be thin. If I'm thin, I'm better, because that is rubbish. So doing it from a place of, I want my body to be healthy. My body is a phenomenal tool and I want it to be as strong as it possibly can be. And this is how I'm doing that. From that place, the hunger is not a problem. I really hope this helps you. And if you want any more help with it, please get in touch, because this is what I do. I help my clients to, first of all, become aware of their thinking and then reframe situations. It's not that we always want to feel positive, but when we are able to deal with feeling negative, we don't need to fear feeling negative. And when you don't fear feeling negative and you've built that really strong emotional resilience, nothing stops you in your life. And I would love to support you on that journey. So if this is you and you're listening to this and you're like, shit, that girl can help me, because 100% I can, book a consult and let's chat. In that hour in the consult, there's no obligation to buy from me. I don't force you or push you or try and convince you into working with me, because that's rubbish. I don't want to do that. And it's not my business what you choose to do with your life. But what I will be able to show you is the power of coaching. And what I will be able to show you very clearly is why you are currently where you are, and give you a process on how to get to where you want to be. Then you get to decide if that's something you want to invest in or not. So if you're listening and you're ready, and I know you are, I know you've heard this and gone, that's what I need to do. Don't second guess. Click on the link, book a consult, and I can't wait to chat to you. Have an amazing week. Bye.